2 of the Designated Drinker Spring Fling Like You Mean It episode. We are the podcast raising the bar on craft cocktails, and I am still Louise Solis, your host, and with me still is my very good friend, Duane Sylvester.
I am Gina.
Damn it.
Fling.
Fling it.
So let's just fling right back into this episode, should we? Shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, last we left, Julien made us a wonderful, wonderful cocktail. So if you've missed part 1 of this episode, you want to go back and get that, because not only did Julien make an amazing cocktail with parsley, Duane makes a very, very simple but quite refreshing Aperol spritz.
Oh, so now I'm simple. I get it.
Well,
Julien was fancy. Delicious. Fancy.
Well, I didn't want to go first.
Well,
Wayne.
he's
I
French.
wanted you to,
You know, the French always overdo
You
it.
gotta drink it with your pinky out.
It is important to show your skill. I applaud your efforts, Julien.
No. He's French Canadian, not French
Right.
French.
It's hard to put your pinky out when you're wearing mittens.
Yeah, they freeze off up there, right?
Yeah.
Well done.
Along with other bits. So let's stay down here where it's a little warmer. Luckily, it's springtime. So, are we going to spring again since you've sprung already?
I'm embarrassed to make drinks now after Julien. I mean, he just really showed what you can do with. He upped the bar
There
for
you
this
go.
podcast. It's like he was a designated drinker or something. I have no idea.
Something like that. Something like that. So, what are you doing over there now?
I still have spring. I was walking around looking for something that I can't find that.
Well, while you look for it,
You don't
I'd be
even
of
know that I don't have it.
assistance.
I don't. Well, while you look for that, let's talk about where we are.
Yeah, we are at last call in Washington, D.C., where have a little bit of ambient noise here.
A little bit
Sorry
of
about
construction, a little bit of the construction going on.
that. You could say it's under development.
There you go. Yeah, up and coming, progressive. What other words can we use for that?
There's a whole Netflix show for that.
They used
So,
to
I
say-
mean-
they used to say I was underdeveloped too. I don't know what that means.
So, what you got?
What do I got? I got nothing. Are we still making drinks?
We're still making drinks.
Because I still love spring, and some people at home, they are familiar with that Aperol spritz.
Yes.
Right? Because the Aperol spritz is easy, walk in the house.
Easy peasy.
I'm thirsty, let's make an Aperol spritz. Sometimes you might want to make something a little bit more intricate. So I got fancier.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Fancier
The ante.
after Julien, put me to shame with his fresh herb water. What?
Oh, I know.
Shock. What was it? Shock and
Blanched and shocked.
Blanch and
water.
shock.
Yeah.
That's like
It's
a
a little clunky.
hashtag.
I'm working on it, the name there, but
We're gonna blanch
Maybe
and
put a little
shock
awe
here.
in there.
So
I'm a little shocked by this conversation.
Oh, good Lord.
I myself am not as fancy as people think, and I really enjoy drinking vodka.
There you go.
And I happen
Many
to
do,
have-
many do.
I happen to have this bottle of citrus vodka from the people over at Sky, and it's like a blend of lemon and lime. So I. Is
that Lyman?
It's what'd you say?
Is that Lyman?
It's Lyman. No, you can't say that. I'm sure that's copywritten
Look, in
sure it is.
Spanish, a limón is a limón.
There you
One
go.
way or
There you
another.
by somewhere, right?
Thanks,
Limon
Amy.
verde, limon amarillo. So, I got it sour.
Okay.
Call it a Milanese Sour, and it's Aperol,
Okay.
that citrus vodka. And when you make a sour at home, lemon, simple syrup.
Okay. Oh, that's easy.
So we've got a sour. At home, you can build it with egg white. I love it egg white because it gives you that
Frothe.
Instagrammability.
Yes.
Well, I was about to ask, where's the protein?
I'm shaking, they can't hear you.
Protein.
Such a lovely sound. Such a beautiful
Almost
sound.
looks like I can still bartend. That's
There we go.
Not true.
You still got it.
That happened.
That's okay. Happens to the best of us.
Thank you. I am the best of us.
There you go.
So when we get this simple sour, we serve it without ice or on stem.
In a nice chilled glass, I take it.
The glass is chilled. Thank you.
Nice. What kind of glass is that?
It is on stem. Some people would call it a martini glass. I prefer to refer to it as a cocktail glass. Some people say coupe or coupe because they're fancy. Now,
Marie Antoinette glass.
There you go.
there you go. Look at that. I'm not gonna go. Why is it called Marie Antoinette glass?
I
There's
know.
so many stories, but I've heard a lot of them have been debunked, unfortunately. I don't know if any of them are actually true.
Oh, tell one of the lies.
Supposedly, it was modeled after her breast. She thought the flute was too phallic, and so preferred her bubbles out of a glass that was shaped after
Her
one of her
breasts.
breasts.
It's a boob glass?
It is
Boob
a boob
glass.
glass. I even knew that one.
So I mentioned earlier that you can use egg white, but I just happen to have a little bit of Ramos Fizz in a siphon, which I wish you guys could see this, but
Laying around
I'm
the
just being really fancy.
It's
That
very
is a
fancy.
fun toy.
'Cause
Beautiful.
I still make drinks at home and pretend that I can make drinks.
So for you at home folks, he's using a siphon, which we've had on. Gina's used those quite often on the show. We've talked about how you put those together and how it changes up the game.
Yeah, you can find them easily on Amazon. It's a great thing to have if you really like to experiment with cocktails at home
But
to get
people
the
don't
right
have these
fizz.
at home already.
A siphon. It's nice.
So, again, it'll add flavor and make it super visual. And then I'm putting a little lemon twist on top. I like to put lemon twist on anything that potentially has egg white in it, just because albumin sometimes holds an aroma that doesn't complement the cocktail as well as the texture it provides. So we put a little bit of citrus oil to enhance your beverage experience. Eat your heart out, Julian.
There you go.
Merci.
Amy, darling.
Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you.
See, look, I have a drink this time.
Beautiful.
Cheers.
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 Again, Fling. Spring in a glass.
Oh, that's so lively. Like dances on your tongue.
Let's change the name to Dances on Your Tongue.
I mean, this is a spring fling. We should have some dancing.
Absolutely. Are you gonna start singing for us now?
I was going to, but then it was like queued up too easily, so I gotta hold back a little bit.
I should learn to hold back.
I think that
Just let you go.
It's okay, Louise. We all know being extra is better.
at home, if you're building drinks, especially if you're gonna go in for like sours, again, spring, easy category. You've got some citrus juice, fresh citrus juice, guys. The plastic limes will get you halfway there, but it's so much better if you have
Yeah.
a fruit that you can squeeze. Simple syrup, I'm sure Gina's talked about it before.
Yep.
It's simple. Equal parts sugar and water. You don't even have to heat it. You can shake the bejesus out of it until everything's gone, and it will work.
Yep.
But if you typically at home, if you have an ounce of simple syrup, you need at least a half ounce of lemon juice. If you want it drier, add more lemon juice. You can go up to equal parts simple and lemon, and then usually double that with spirit, put ice and shake it, and you're home. You're making drinks at home as good as the bars that you're going to. The only thing you go to the bars for now is the atmosphere and the cool bartender standing behind the stick.
Absolutely. That's why I come. Cheers to cool bartenders.
I'm
I'm
so
glad I
drinking
know
it.
a few.
You can
Really?
you can make
You're
great
not
drinks
just
at home.
saying that.
I'm not just saying that.
I wish I could meet a few.
So you used egg white in the ISI siphon to create a little espuma on the top?
Absolutely. So in the siphon is a bit of bulldog gin, lemon lime, simple syrup, egg white, and even heavy cream.
Oh, really?
So the ingredients that would go into a Ramos Fizz.
Yeah.
But in the ISI siphon, it does all the integration for me. It emulsifies all the ingredients. There's also water and orange flower water and almond essence in there as well, just to,
Oh,
to play with the
interesting.
ingredients. But all of a sudden now, I just squeeze instead of shaking and throwing out my back because I'm old.
Leave it to Duane to figure out a way to not shake a drink for 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think you've created a cocktail within a cocktail.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. So how long would that keep with the egg white and
It's got all that alcohol in it, right? All that gin.
Oh, there's booze in there.
so and it's airtight. So how it would keep for how long?
Almost looks like soft serve.
You're asking me to give a health recommendation or shelf life, which I won't do.
Okay.
But I won't tell you that this is probably 3 weeks old.
Wow, really?
No, not really.
Gets better with age.
Yeah. It doesn't change. That's why.
Hey, I agree with that. I resemble that comment.
Yeah, with all that pressurized
Hey.
gas in there and all that alcohol, there's not really, I can't see a way for
And
a
it's-
whole lot of bacteria to grow in there.
You're not looking
at
for
least
And it's
within the
airtight.
first,
militarization.
with the
Right.
first 5 days, at least, say for a
Yeah.
good week.
Wow, that's awesome. So, I mean, like if you had a party, you could set that up ahead of time. The other nice thing is if you had a party,
Absolutely.
could you do something like this, like a punch, but then leave the siphon to the side so maybe your guests could like punch it out and then
Make
like
your own.
ladle it out?
Will the guests be cleaning up after themselves?
Less work parties. The problem is that this is really good, and after the first round, the siphon can be a real fun toy at a party.
Hello, what kind of party do you go into?
But, you know,
Keys in a bowl,
Laybacks.
please. Keys in a bowl.
you know, I don't know if you've seen the videos of guys gone wild, but
Yeah, you don't want people breaking your fun toys because then you're like, this is why I can't have nice things.
Yep.
I'm talking about painting the walls with Ramos Fizz. Can happen. Try it. you
Has
gotta
it
try
happened?
it.
Has it happened?
What's that?
Has it happened?
I've seen it happen.
So one thing I asked you about how your approach to cocktails. Amy, how did you get into making cocktails? I mean, how did you find this love?
Well, there is this person that we all know. Her name is Gina.
My name is Gina.
Her name is Gina, yeah. And I just I basically met her on a coincidence.
Oh,
And
I didn't know that.
took
I mean,
me
as long as I've known you, I did
and
not
ran with it.
had no idea how it all started.
Oh yeah, it all started with me volunteering to sell her popcorn.
Oh, okay. I never even knew there was popcorn.
I got
Oh
it.
yeah, and I didn't realize that I was selling her popcorn. I thought I was just helping out my friend who was doing these drive-in movies at Union Market.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I thought I was just helping them out, favor for a friend. And apparently it was the first night that they sold out and made a profit on the popcorn.
Oh, look at you. So are you still friends with this friend?
Yeah,
Oh, there you
she's
go.
my best friend.
I gotta tell you, I pride myself on recognizing talent.
Yeah.
And when I saw Amy there working my popcorn stand, I decided that she is the person that I need to be as part of my team. And I can teach her the ways of in the glass. We won't say the cocktail or the mixology. We're gonna call it in the glass.
There you go.
I mean, my favorite part about the popcorn stand is that I didn't realize that the popcorn had a set price at all. So when people were coming to purchase the popcorn, I was like, oh yeah, these are just, donations to keep the drive-in movie going. And so I made over, like not only did I make a profit, I doubled the price of the popcorn.
I think that's illegal.
She was hustling. No, it's not illegal because she wasn't selling. She was collecting a suggested donation. She inspired
We
people.
did donate some of that
I was
money
like,
back.
for
Yeah,
a non-organization is one point.
That's I-71 compliant right there.
They went above the suggested donation.
Yes.
Gina's like,
Yes.
how did you make this much money on popcorn? I was like, I don't know. I just told people they needed
Yes,
it.
I was. I was impressed with your.
I love how Duane is like really embracing his inner Gina. And he's doing it in public.
Yes, I am Gina.
So, Julien, how about you? How did you fall into this?
Same story. I was kind of found, just kind of like Amy.
Were you just on like the curb and somebody was walking by and you're like, oh,
more-
look at this poor little soul.
Baby on a basket.
Yeah, exactly.
Give him a
He's
bottle.
like Moses.
More or less, I was actually just taken. My mom actually took me.
I think
to,
that's called kidnapping.
No, my mother took me to dinner at Tremors on Main when I was, I think, 19 or 20 years old. So not old enough to drink, but just simply watching Stefan Tremor make cocktails behind the bar. I was going to school to be an X-ray tech at the time, and still was passionate about that, but something caught my eye. I was like, wait, it's not just like soda out of a gun in a glass and
Yeah.
Red Bull and a Jägermeister machine, and which is the few bars that I'd been to. Granted, I'm Canadian, so you can go to bars and drink it at 18. I was only exposed to, college party cocktails, and so seeing this, that changed my life. And so Stefan took me under his wing, and I'm here today because of that. So
And speaking of where we are today, again,
Where's all that noise coming from? Are we in Union Market?
we are.
Is
we
this
are.
last call?
It is. All that noise.
I must be Gina.
you must be.
I do like to shut down the bar, so it must be last call.
Must be last call.
There you go. There you go.
So, you were drafted. You were sold into submission.
It's a great way of putting it.
I guess I was born into this because I've been
Were
doing
you?
this shit since I was 2 years old.
There you go.
And what I mean by that is,
Shaking the rattle.
nah, not even. I have family members that believe in entertainment. Everyone's got to be happy in our home.
That's
And,
great.
yeah, I guess I never knew any other way. and you try to take me to school and teach me math. I'm like, how does this make people happy? You know, so.
Born to host and entertain.
So, you know, I know, Amy, I know you know my husband. You know, Dave grew up in LA, and he learned how to make dirty martinis for Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner before she passed. They used to go to his dad's girlfriend for many, many years after his divorce. Was a screenwriter, and so she was in the biz, and they were all good friends, and that's how Dave learned how to make dirty martinis when he was like 13, 14 years old, because everyone else was having dinner and he was stuck there. His dad would make sure he was there, and that's how he learned to make those.
That's
of course,
amazing.
He does not make them for me, asshole. So, all right, I think it's time for us to see what you got, Amy.
What I've got? Was I supposed to bring something to this party?
Just your talent and
Fling
your
it.
beautiful smile.
A good thing I'm always prepared.
Woohoo! So, Mama, it's all you. What you got?
Well, for me, spring is about a lot of different things. Of course, we're all very, very excited about the beautiful produce and
Yes.
stuff that we get in. A lot of things coming into season, a lot of things that you can play with. But it's also the new year for those of us of Persian descent. So
nice.
it's new beginnings spiritually, new beginnings around us,
Nice.
and new growth.
Physically, faithfully,
Exactly.
all of those things. Awesome.
Exactly, and I kind of went with that kind of theme for my cocktail. I'm also using something green, but a different approach to it than Julien, where he does his blanching and does his water. I went with fresh pressed juice.
Nice.
So
Blanch and shock. Blanch and shock.
Blanch and shock.
See
right.
exactly why you want to go back if you missed episode 1. Got to go back.
Yes. So a lot of us have been into the juice craze, right? A lot of people are juicing things and keeping them at home. Why not
Yes.
use it in your cocktails too?
Yeah, kind of
You
like
know?
retox while you detox.
Yeah, exactly. And you can juice the stems at the same time as juicing the leaves.
Nice.
So one stop.
Blanching and shocking my life right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, and if you're lazy, you can just pick up some fresh pressed juice from Whole Foods.
There you go.
Yeah,
or
you
any,
don't even
or
have to do it
even any of
yourself.
your local. There's so
Yeah,
many.
exactly. There's a juicery everywhere.
Yep, everywhere. So what you got in that cocktail?
So
bag?
in this cocktail, I'm doing per cocktail 1 ounce of Espolòn tequila because I'm keeping with that low
you
ABV
know I love
theme.
me some tequila.
Yes, and we're going a little grassy with it. I've got basically a dash of green chartreuse in each drink, and that just once again is an aromatic component, going for those same like medicinal qualities and playing with the herbaceous nature. And then bubbles, because bubbles say spring.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
For juice, I went with a fresh pressed kale and cucumber juice
Wow.
and lemon juice.
Nice.
Get
nice.
the kale out of here.
And my last ingredient is a little bit more complicated. People have heard a lot about and use a lot of red wine reductions.
Yes.
Instead of sugar, right? But I went with a white wine reduction, playing with a Sauvignon Blanc and like that kind of grassy nature. And
Oh,
Sauvignon Blanc.
nice. Oh, that sounds lovely. So let's get to it.
So let's shake it up.
Love that sound. Love it. Love it.
So fast. Makes me want to dance.
Choo choo.
Cocktails make you dance.
Good ones.
Cocktails make you do a lot of things.
Hello. Just blame it on the cocktail. So what kind of glass are you using over there?
I'm using a rocks glass for this guy, but you could also use like a nice tall Collins
It's
glass.
pretty clear for rocks.
You could use a wine glass, a nice stemmed wine glass if you're with Duane, because that's what he loves.
He likes his pinky up.
It is perfect for enjoying the aromatic as well as the palette of the cocktail.
Gotcha.
And then after you shake and strain those ingredients, we're just adding that sparkling wine, some bubbles.
Nice.
I think the texture of bubbles is just so great for spring because, you know, you really feel like it's light, like it's effervescent.
It's
It
like
took
me.
everything in me to not put wine in my cocktails because that's like my guilty like crutch. I put wine in like all my drinks, sparkling wine, flat wine.
Nice.
See, I do chartreuse and everything, and I still did that because, hey, it's on brand, right? And then last, I'm garnishing it with some fresh multicolored kale.
I love the fact that it's
That's
garnished.
That's only one color.
Well, it's purple, different than normal. You know, give you a little
Green in the drink,
contrast with the
purple
green.
garnish.
Nice.
This brings back childhood memories of
Bumps on the log.
Barney the dinosaur.
It's beautiful.
This is So pretty.
cocktails
Thank
for you
you.
guys.
I think it's amazing that you, there's like a silent rule, I think, somewhere, although I never heard it, that you have to use more spirit than what you put. You said you put an ounce of Espolon tequila in
Yes.
this, but you just put enough to make it taste good.
Well,
At least I
that-
think it tastes good. We're gonna find out in a
Yeah,
second.
let's do it. Cheers.
Salute, dude.
Cheers. Or actually, salamati.
Persian cheers.
Yeah.
Salmati.
I mean, if we're celebrating
Nice.
the new year. And then like in like the story behind this drink is also a lot of these green ingredients we would call sabzi. And we set up these really elaborate tables. You may have seen like a picture of it before. It's called a half scene that has like all these beautiful things that symbolize different things. And that's sabzi, the green or the grass and all these things that anything green vegetables symbolizes life. So
Beautiful.
I can have see this.
Oh, good Lord. This is a delicious cocktail.
It's awesome, and that is so beautiful.
Yes, this is definitely your Instagram-worthy cocktail.
well, not only that, but everybody's on that cold cleansing juice. You're still trying to get fit for summer, right? Like
Yep.
you're still trying to, make sure everything's working right inside and out. So
I gotta
might
tell
as
you,
well.
for my cleanse, the blend of alcohol and fresh juice doesn't make sense to me. So for my cleanse, I'm just gonna drink the alcohol.
There you go. Get your fiber elsewhere.
That's right.
There you go.
Well, I mean, I just think if you get all your calories in your drink, you don't need to eat, right? Is that what they say?
Always drink responsibly.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation, folks. Everything in moderation.
70% of what's in your glass, though, Amy, is healthy. You could almost argue, though, right?
Yeah,
There's a little bit
exactly.
of tequila and all these other herbs and.
I mean, tequila has a good deal of water in it. There's tons of water sustains life. I think we're on the way to something completely healthy for the health conscious.
Well, it's just like people so often like they'll just cut drinking out of their diets, right? Without realizing that there's ways to do cocktails that aren't so heavy on the booze.
Yes.
That you can have one or two of these in especially a social environment, still go out and hang out with your friends, but not have to worry about like I'm not drinking,
Yep. Yeah. No,
Or the
absolutely.
calories, at
Again,
least.
everything in moderation, and you're to your point. If it's, especially on the show, we're all about like fresh ingredients and honoring the spirit. So there are different ways. Definitely, to your point, a lot of ways to do that. It's not always, super
I'm
boozy.
blown away that I'm drinking kale and loving it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Does that pinky up? Does that pinky up?
It's very LA of you,
Pinky's out.
Duane.
This is very pinky of me. I may have to move to California.
I love that Duane had like pink drinks, pink and peach, and you guys both had like
Both
green.
wet green, yeah.
Green's my favorite color. So
We want the nutrients. We're bartenders. We don't get enough of them as it is. So we can get a nutrient-rich, which is exactly what this is. This is like high on the Andy aggregate nutrient density index scale. This is like
That's what I was going
not
to
a
say.
lot of caloric content. and
yeah.
just-
The Andy nutrient index mix.
I used to work at Whole Foods where they made me learn
Flex
all this stuff.
capacitor.
Exactly.
it's what I think of before I go to bed at night.
You two should seek the same counseling.
I think it comes in the form of a glass.
Or a very, very good bartender. I hear they make great psychiatrists.
Do you hear really like crazy stories? I mean, do you have a crazy
Oh,
story?
yeah. All the
What do you
time.
have?
Oh yeah.
You have a recent one?
My favorite are recently divorcees.
You told me you
those
weren't
are
going
good.
to tell my story.
But I mean, and listen, I do not blame them. Like they should be getting out there and going after it.
Absolutely.
But every once in a while, you just get a little hint of crazy with that.
Oh, I'm sure. Can you
More
see
than
the
a little
crazy
hint.
eye? Can you see? I always see
Oh.
like, I have a friend that I always call her crazy eye. I will not say her name.
Look in the mirror.
I don't know. And you look at some people and you're like, oh, mostly women, I can see it. I'm like, oh, she definitely has crazy eye. Like, she's a little batshit.
Well, yeah, it's that same look.
Is that the woman you used to chase back in the day?
Find a woman that doesn't have that crazy eye, and I will buy your drinks for the rest of your life.
Well, you know what? I like to say it's the same look that like your mom used to give you, like right when she was like mad at you,
Yeah.
but it's
Crazy
all the
too.
time.
Yeah.
Crazy too.
Yeah. Crazy talk. Do you have crazy people in Canada?
Oh yeah.
Well, you have
everywhere,
loonies.
everywhere. Yeah.
There
No, but they're very polite,
females
though. They're
in
polite
Canada
crazy
as
They're
well.
polite crazy.
Yes, they're very polite. But unfortunately, I've not gotten a chance to bartend in Canada. So all of my bartending experience down here, yeah, we get, a lot of people come tell us kind of our sad stories. And I'd like to think about the old school bartender where the guy that's having a heartbreak comes to the barkeep to kind of pour his heart out. And I don't get to do that as much as I get to like help guys with their like Tinder accounts.
Oh.
Like got to show me like why isn't she swipe, and I have to like kind of help him through that or walk that. Like,
First dates
why
are
isn't
my
they-
favorite.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Miss Louise, what's Tinder?
Or maybe not Tinder, but like Hinge or whatever. But yeah, so I'm like talking them through their dating app, and I'm really not the guy to ask for that.
Dating app? Is there a special appetizer that you serve for dates?
Well, those could. Some of them I think may not be a little less appetizing.
Well, first dates at the bar, though, are some of the funniest interactions to watch because neither person ever like really knows like what to talk about or what to do.
So I saw.
That's the bartender's job.
I was sitting. So I always have friends behind the bar. Always my favorite place that we go to all the time. There was definitely a first date, but this guy was firing off like question after question after, like it was like a list. I swear to you, he must have like memorized it because he went through like 100 questions and he's like,
interrogation.
It was totally. It was like
He's telling a
it was like
personal
no. We were all watching it like, oh my god, and I thought for sure she was going to get up because it was like ocean or mountain. Cabin or skiing or beach. Like, I mean, it was like dun 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 back and forth, and
She
she would
thought about
answering
leaving.
on and on and on. And I thought she would leave. I thought it was like at any moment she's just gonna get up and like go running out of the bar.
What
Nope.
happened?
Totally stayed in it. Like they ended up leaving together. I was like, oh, that was
married him. This
Perfect
is a story
match.
of David and Louise.
Well, we know that happened way before there was any kind of app. There were no apps back then. To your point, it's what you ordered at the restaurant then.
Mozzarella sticks.
I mean, my one tip to everyone like who's going on a first date, the one biggest mistake that I see people make overall that I would say like is very easily avoidable, don't try to order for your date.
Oh, that's just rude.
You don't know what they like unless you guys have been together forever and they say, order me a drink, I trust you.
Yeah.
If it's a first date, just let them look. If it takes them a long time to find it, let them look for what they like because you don't want to seem like the pushy person who like just.
But to that, if somebody's trying to order whatever it is, that get the fuck out. Just get up and walk away. Go find the next one. Because
I gotta tell you, the meeting has changed significantly, but the person-to-person interaction is still applicable.
Yes.
And what I remember from first dates at the bar, guys, let me tell you something. This is advice. Shut the fuck up. If you listen, she will steer everywhere she wants to go. If there's gaps, give as little. Don't volunteer too much information. Do not talk about yourself. And when she's talking, shut the fuck up.
See, this is a very successfully
And absorb.
married man.
Lucky lady.
Yep, lucky lady. To her. To Mrs. Sylvester.
She might hear this. Know when to be quiet. Amy, this is delicious.
It is. It is.
Thank you.
All right. So a little housekeeping. So when you want to go and when you want to make this beautiful green cocktail that's going to retox while you detox, or detox while you retox. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a circle, never-ending circle.
There we go. I'm right either way when I'm wrong. So you're gonna head over to designateddrinker.show. Where's that, Amy?
Designateddrinker.show.
I thought it was designateddrinker.show.
Absolutely. Wait a minute, Julian, what did you get?
I got designateddrinker.show.
Okay, then. Yeah, you're right. And you're going to go over there and you get all the tips and tricks and how-tos. You're going to get both of these recipes, plus every recipe from every episode before this one.
But I got a question.
What do you got?
Amy, Julian, when you give someone a drink, what do you look for? You just put the drink down and I was always selfish about everything I served. I wanted some sort of gratification to know that.
You wanted somebody to rub your belly?
Yeah, I needed that validation. And maybe that's just me, but I'd like to think that's a commonplace thing. So what do you guys look for after the drink has been served?
Well, for me, it's so much that exactly like you were saying before, where it's about experience, I think I tackle it in the same way, because I want the drink to taste good, I want them to like the drink, but I also, it's lubrication for me to talk to and engage with that customer, right? So it's more of like still being able to check in with them, being able to talk to them about the drink, being able to educate them about it, you know, so that they can go on and know more about what they're drinking as well. And if somebody doesn't like a drink, that's okay. Not everything is for everybody, and not everybody reads the menu thoroughly enough to know what they do or don't like. It's being able to then take from that point and make them something they like, turn it into an experience that they love.
I think I completely agree, for sure. I think you kind of want to try to create a memory for the guest. I think one of the coolest things for me is with the way I rest and relax, I don't always retain everything I've ever made and done and create, but when a guest can come back, maybe 8 months or a year or several years later to your bar and say, hey, do you remember this drink you made me with these ingredients? And you're like, no, I don't. Say it again, and then they explain it, and you're like, oh shit, I do remember that drink, and something you completely forgotten about, but they held on to it, and they remembered till they came back to your bar just to bring it up to you again, even years later. That's like the most humbling thing. You're
it's
like, wow.
Camaraderie, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, we're in this together.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So when you go to the bar, take note. And actually, I always encourage, I know it's hard to believe, conversation. I think it's key. Human connection is very important. But yeah, I think the best conversations I've had, I have to say, have to be with bartenders that I didn't know.
Well, what did you do after you knew me?
Yeah.
Then the conversation got a little dull.
Drank
Sorry
a
to
lot.
say. You need an Aperol spritz or two to get through the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Not true. Not true. All right, let's sprung this spring.
Spring.
Fling. Cheers.
The Designated Drinker Show is produced by Missing Link, a podcast media company dedicated to connecting people to intelligent, engaging, and informative content. Missing Link is a proud partner of Hearing Charities of America, a nonprofit organization that supports those who are deaf or hard of hearing. To learn more about HCOA or to find out about Missing Link's other podcasts, head over to missinglink.company. That's missinglink.company.